Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I know, everybody, including myself, just can't shut up. We just can't stop talking about this Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice movie, for better or for worse. Some people love it, others hate it. It's almost like there's no in between. And I still hold true to the fact that I very much enjoyed the film. I had a lot of fun with the movie. There's a lot of things about it that I just adored. And I've seen it more than once. But I don't pretend like it's a perfect movie. I don't pretend like there's not anything in the movie that couldn't have been done better. In fact, to be fair, I even made a video where I defended the film and tried to counteract some of the complaints about the movie. However, to be fair, I am making this video to list 5 things that I think Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice could have done better. Okay, let's start with number 1, in my opinion. Let's make Batman not kill people. Like, please. And it's not like you can't tell a story where Batman kills. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Batman can never be driven to the point where he kills. Sure, it's happened a couple of times, but if you're going to do that in a movie, give me the reason. Give me a reason why. Have Alfred go to Batman and say, look dude, you're going too far. You're killing criminals, you're reckless, you're causing all of this mayhem in your Batmobile. And maybe have Bruce Wayne say, look what happened to Robin. Look what happened to Barbara, if she's paralyzed by this point. Look what happened here. Look at how there's aliens that are on Earth now with Superman and Zod and all of this crazy stuff that is coming. I have to go to the next level. I have to go that far. That's the kind of world we live in now. If you had one scene where he says that, and maybe Alfred is still like, I don't really agree, but okay, fine. Have it be an important plot point, because you just can't gloss over it. Number 2, Superman needed to have earned the city's respect, or earn their trust back. I love the fact that the beginning of this movie, even the first hour of this movie, is spent with the public, the news, the media, and just civilians not knowing exactly what to make of Superman. Between the Metropolis incident, between Lex framing him for all of these various different random acts of violence that we know he's not doing. But I love seeing the news talk about it. I love seeing people debate on whether Superman was doing the right thing or should be doing this and doing that. All of that was great, but we never had a moment where Superman earned their trust. Even if you say that him killing himself over the Doomsday fight, maybe if you had it in front of the city, like in the Death of Superman book, where they literally fight to the death and the whole city's like surrounding it and everybody sees Superman literally give up his life for them. That's the emotional moment. That's the moment where you could say, holy shit, this guy was good the whole time, or we were wrong about him. And we never got that. I admit, the characterization of Superman is a little flat, is a little weak. I guess a lot of writers find him hard to write, and I can understand that. It sucks because I was so enthralled by seeing the death of Superman for the first time ever in live action. Number 3, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. I'm not saying he was horrible, but he had his weird moment. I agree with many people who say that he was written as a Batman villain, meaning he's criminally insane. Okay, fine, if that's the Lex you want to go for, but how much better would this have been if Lex was that CEO that you couldn't get to? That guy who's in the background, in the dark, where he has this public persona, and maybe even he speaks out against Superman, so you have that group that believes him, goes with him. But behind the scenes, he is scheming, he is plotting, he is creating things to set up Superman. I like the fact that he's framing him. I like the fact that he had Scoot McNairy's character blow up the UN meeting and make it seem like it was Superman, even though the media immediately knew that it was a bomber, so I guess that was pointless. Still, there's moments where Lex's plot makes sense, and there's moments where I don't understand why he's so out in the open with it. Why he has that Kryptonian chip right in the middle of the city. Everybody knows that it's him experimenting on it, and he just creates Doomsday and doesn't even hide the fact that he's involved. That brings me to number 4. Make the reason why Batman and Superman are fighting because they want to fight each other. They set up perfectly why Batman wants to fight Superman, and a lot of his point of view you understand or you agree, especially that first Metropolis scene. I can't get over how impactful that was, how meaningful that was, seeing Bruce Wayne out of costume, maybe feeling a little powerless, seeing people die around him, buildings fall around him. Love that. You really can't go any further than that, especially with that nightmare / premonition, vision, future scene, whatever you want to call it, where he sees what Superman can become. There's so many things on Batman's side that you get it. You get why he's going for it. But Superman, he fights Batman because Lex kidnaps his mom. And it's almost like this movie wants to drive Lex in the forefront as the villain. And I don't think that was needed. I really don't. Again, I didn't mind Lex scheming in the background for certain things, but that you should have kept with. They introduced Superman or Clark not liking Batman for whatever reason. Because he's a vigilante, because Superman thinks he goes too far. You have to play that up more. You have to play up the fact that Superman might even look at the fact that Batman's killing criminals or doing this and that, causing other types of damage, and have Superman go up to him and say, "You're a hypocrite. You hate me for this collateral damage shit. Well, look at what you're doing. How are you any better?" And boom, the clash. The clash of ideology. Look at how they fight in the animated series. It's perfect. It's just the two of them going head at it. And I know some people are bitching and complaining or making fun of the whole Martha thing. That's the reason why they stopped fighting. I took it a different way. I didn't take it as Batman finds out that Superman's mom is named Martha, and then he goes "Oh, well, my mom's named Martha too. Let's be friends." I didn't take it that way. It's funny, but I took it more as it was almost that way of telling Batman that, look, Superman is just a guy. I mean, he's an alien, he's powerful, but at the end of the day, he is just a guy who was raised by a mother like you were. You have a lot more in common than you realize. He's not the enemy, like Alfred was saying over and over. And yeah, obviously the name of the mother triggers Bruce back to the reason why he started being Batman in the first place, and what draws all of his emotion and his anger and just everything. It came to him. So I can see if people took it the wrong way or whatever, but I got a lot out of that. I love the fact that a story finally did something with the fact that they have their mothers have the same name. Number 5, the last thing that I think that could have made this movie just a little bit better. As much as I'm okay with the Doomsday battle, sure, is it too much crammed into one movie? Should we have done the death of Superman in this movie? It's the more you think about it, probably not. You probably should have built Superman up more and saved that for a proper Man of Steel sequel or a solo Superman movie whenever we get that. Sure. I was okay with this fight. It was badass seeing Wonder Woman, Batman and Superman fighting Doomsday, and I guess just seeing Doomsday in live action. Okay, he didn't look perfect, but still, it was all happening in front of my eyes on the big screen. I can't pretend like that didn't get my rocks off. But from a story standpoint, the Scoot McNairy character could have been so much more, right? As interesting as he was at the very beginning, And as much as I understand his hatred for Superman, imagine if, now I can't pretend like this was all my idea. I heard somebody else talk about this, make a video about it, and ever since I heard them say this, I just can't get it out of my head. Imagine if either you change it around a little bit, or you just have the fact that maybe Lex gets the remains, the body of Scoot McNairy Wallace from that bombing, takes his remains, and instead of creating Doomsday, uses him to create Metallo. And so his character comes back like a robot, a cyborg version of Wallace. And that's who the Trinity fights at the end. He fights Metallo. So at least it's not so much if it's Doomsday. It's a little bit more controlled and contained, but still probably ending up being a badass end battle if it was Metallo versus Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Oh well, you can't really change that now. What can you do? I'm still saying that I enjoyed the film. I'm not trying to back out and change my opinion because my opinion's unpopular, I guess. I still like the movie. I still enjoyed the movie. I can also say it's not perfect. So what are you going to do? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of my top 5 things that could have made Batman vs. Superman better? Do you agree or do you still hate this movie? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!